Help me reach 7,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps make the content better. She propped a hand on the doorframe and said it like weather. Jenna's doing a girls' night. Wine, some sappy movie. We might crash there. Might. I watched her toss a weekender into the trunk. Fresh manicure, hair like she just stepped out of a chair, and the sweater I never see at home. So I shouldn't wait up. Don't be dramatic. She laughed. We're grown-ups. Right, I said. Grown-ups text if plans change. Her eyes flicked to my face, judged the temperature, then to the phone that had been glued to her since breakfast. I'll text. If I'd known where it was headed, I'd have locked the car and carried the bag back inside. She came home late the next morning smelling like someone else's detergent. Not bad, just not ours. She set the keys down carefully, like placing a glass ornament. Movie went forever, she announced, back to me. We opened a second bottle. Jenna's place, right? Yeah. She stretched. You should try being social sometime. I was social. With the laundry. I slid her a mug. Jenna's dog still barking at everyone? She paused half a second. He was fine. Lucky you. They don't have a dog. What Jenna has is a cat and an anxious boyfriend. I let it sit. Sometimes you learn more from silence than questions. She took the mug, kissed the air 2 inches from my cheek, and floated to the shower like she hadn't practiced the whole speech on the drive. By lunch, my patients had a plan. I pulled our shared calendar off my phone and rebuilt mine private. I'm not a detective, I'm a contractor. But I know systems. When a wall leans, you shore it before it falls. That afternoon, she pinged from the couch. Hey, can you swing by the market? I'm wiped. I'm swamped, I texted back. Ordered groceries to be dropped off. Saved us time. New rule. I don't run errands to cover holes I didn't dig. She responded with a thumbs up and half an hour of scrolling. At dinner, I set down plates. Quick thing, I told her. I'm passing on couples trivia with your crew for a bit. You go have fun. I'll reclaim my Tuesdays. Her fork hovered. Since when? Since I got tired of playing the punchline. Don't start. I'm not. I'm done. I sipped water. Also, if your plans go overnight, give me a heads up by 8. If I don't hear, I lock up and put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Her mouth opened, closed. You don't get to. I do, I said. Because I live here too. She set the fork down slow. You're being controlling. I'm being clear. She studied me, decided not to fight in the kitchen, and changed the subject to a sale on patio furniture. I let her. Boundaries the point, not a performance. 2 days later, we were at brunch with her work friend Tara, who treats sarcasm like vitamins. The mimosas hit the table, and Tara grinned at my shirt. Mark, did Emily finally dress you? You look like you made an effort. Emily smiled sweet and slid the knife in. He's trying. I told him people notice. She patted my shoulder without actually touching me, like training a lab. Cute, I said. Want to know what else people notice? When someone forgets the truth about their own friends' pets. Emily's eyes flashed. What? Tara, I said. Jenna still has that cat. Tara blinked. Since college. Good. I speared a bite and chased it with coffee. Then we're all oriented. The silence hummed for one full beat. Tara smirked at Emily. Okay, what's happening? Nothing. Emily snapped. He's on a kick. I'm on a schedule, I replied. Which I will keep. I've got a site walk at 2. And tonight, I'm taking the garage back. I need the space for a cabinet job. Your storage bins go to the guest room closet by the weekend. I'll help after I finish invoices. Tara whistled. Someone's reorganizing. Someone's improving, I said. Emily slid her glass away. We'll talk at home. We can talk anywhere, I told her. The rules travel. Tara watched us over her straw like she had season tickets. At home, the talk started with volume and ended with logistics. She tried the usual. You're paranoid. You're punishing me. And I didn't bite. I measured my words like lumber. Overnights need notice, I told her, hauling the bins. If you don't want to give it, fine. Then you do your overnights somewhere else. I'm not running a lobby. She paced. You sound like my dad. I sound like a man who lives by a schedule. It suits me. Later that night, she walked into my workshop downstairs with a peace offering, a beer I didn't ask for, and leaned on the door jamb like it was a movie scene. Truce, she asked. Depends on the terms. You're right. I should have texted. I'll be better. I'll hold you to it. She touched my arm this time. You look good when you're building. Buildings don't lie, I said. They either stand or they don't. She laughed lightly, then checked her phone, reading a message with a smile she tried to swallow. The truce lasted one night. 2 weekends in a row, she slept at Jenna's and came back with the same detergent and brand new caution. She'd checked the street from the bedroom window before leaving, like she expected a camera crew. I started noticing other things. Fresh receipts with wrong neighborhoods, a second phone number in her car's Bluetooth. Valet error, she said. Sure. Valets love syncing their phones. I didn't ask again. I called a man named Cal that my neighbor Louis swore by. Cal used to be a cop until, as he put it, the paper part ate the people part. He met me at a diner that still believes in hash browns. Cal listened without blinking. You got anything besides detergent and a cat? I've got a spouse who edits her life and rewrites mine. He stirred sugar into his coffee like he had all day. Then you've got enough. I'll follow the schedule you give me. Keep your face out of it. Let me see what's real. What's your window? Fast enough to hurt and slow enough to hold up, he said. 2 weeks. I gave him the calendar, the hot spots, and the street names. I didn't give him anger. I needed mine cold. 3 days later, Emily's temperature shifted. Breakfast at the table with her hair loose and a plate of eggs she never cooks. Thought I'd spoil you, she said, sliding a fork my way. That's kind, I replied, watching her watch me. She reached for my hand like we were back at the start. I've been distant, she said. Work's nuts. I don't want to fight. We won't, I said. Fighting takes two. She smiled. You're good to me. I'm good to people who respect me. Her smile held, but her eyes moved. So, Friday, Jenna wants to do a movie again. Notice given, I said. Be home by 9 Saturday. I've got a delivery coming at 10. I'll try. Try isn't a plan. She pulled her hand back. I said I'll try. Then I'll plan for you not to be here, I replied. Delivery's in my name. She stood, stacked plates, and decided eggs were a bad idea. The warmth lasted until lunch. I didn't track her across town. Cal did. He sent clean, sober updates, times, addresses, and pictures from distances that give you no excuses. The man was tall, dark jacket, married finger bare, but tan line clear, car parked 2 blocks down. They used the back entrance of a condo complex with mirrors in the lobby. He closed distance on her like a man used to winning. She smiled like she thought she was. Cal's file read like a contractor's punch list. Names, dates, routine. The man's name was Derek. He sold financial products and spoke at a chamber breakfast twice a month. Married 7 years to Hannah, a middle school counselor who volunteered on Saturdays. Derek wore a ring sometimes, and sometimes not. Emily wore hers in the Uber. Cal laid it out at my kitchen table without ceremony. He slid the photos over, neutral, distant enough. He didn't editorialize. He didn't have to. Questions? He asked. No, I stacked the pages, squared them. Do you have Hannah's number? He did. I took it. After he left, I sat with the file like it was lumber for a job I didn't want but would finish clean. I called Hannah the next morning from my truck, parked outside a hardware store because habit is straight lines. She answered with a cautious hello that told me she screens. Hannah? My name's Mark. We don't know each other. We should. Who told you to call me? Guard up. She didn't sound weepy. Good. A professional. I'll send you a picture so you know I'm real. I texted one of the lobby shots. 2 people who chose each other and a mirror recording it. She took 10 seconds. Where are you? 10 minutes from a diner off Maple. Booth in the back. I'll be there, she said. Hannah walked in short hair, steady eyes, no jewelry. A counselor's calm with a person's edge. She sat across from me and didn't touch the menu. You're Mark, she said. I am. She glanced at the file. May I? I slid it over. She looked through like reading a report at work. Cal's good, she said finally. We used him at school once for something else. Then I hired the right guy. She set the papers down. How long have you known? Known? Since the detergent. Confirmed? Since Tuesday. Hannah blew out a breath, not for show. He told me it was a client. Mine told me it was Jenna's dog. Hannah's mouth twisted. We don't have a dog either. Then we're aligned. I leaned back. I'm not doing public hand-wringing. I'm doing a plan. I want to propose something. I'm listening. Joint exit, I said. Same day, a clean break. I'll handle my end. I can coordinate the time so they don't run interference for each other. Her eyes sharpened. How clean? I have an anniversary in 2 weeks. Big thing at our place. Family, friends, neighbors. It's not my style. It's hers. I'm going to show up with you in clarity. Then I'll serve papers. If you want to do yours later that day, I'll stand by while you handle it. Silent support. Like a bodyguard who can lift furniture. That's a lot. It's a boundary with a door, I said. They can walk through like adults. Hannah studied me. You sure you want the scene? I want the truth to stand in the room and stop pretending it's a rumor. I shrugged. If there's a cleaner way to close it, pitch it. She shook her head slowly. No. He hates being seen. He counts people like points. He'll feel this for a decade. She folded the file back into order like she does it for a living. Okay, I'm in. We keep each other posted, I said. If either of them changes the script, we adapt. But we do not blink. We met twice again to coordinate while I changed my life in quiet ways. I moved into the guest room without argument and told Emily it was for early mornings and project bids. Whatever, she said, pretending to be unfazed. Just don't snore through the wall. I won't, I told her. I'll be gone before you wake up. I cut our shared credit card down to the minimum and opened a separate account. I put the car in my name alone, the one I paid for, and let her sit with the old plan. I told her I'd switch to paperless mail. I hadn't. I redirected key statements to my office. She noticed none of it, too busy watching her phone and her reflection. My crew saw me pull in earlier and leave later, and Luis knocked on the side of the truck. You're quiet, boss. I'm working. On what? On being finished. He nodded like a man who's tightened bolts on a shaky ladder. When you need heavy lifting, text. At a Friday barbecue at our neighbor's place, Emily put on a show. She laughed loud at the right men, rolled eyes at the right women, placed a hand on my back when people looked, then let it drop as soon as they turned. During dessert, she let a line slip as a joke. If Mark could manage a calendar, she told the group, we'd still be on time for things. I wiped my mouth. The calendar works fine. It's just private now. I got tired of surprise edits. Tara's husband, Aaron, raised a brow. That a problem? Only for people who hate clarity, I said. Emily's smile thinned. We like to share things in this house. We share respect, I said evenly. Everything else negotiates. The table went quiet. I didn't care. Not my table, still my rules. That was the first public line. She didn't repeat the joke. After that, she pivoted into her second, I can be better phase. It was a Tuesday, and I came home from a long day to steaks and a marinade and a playlist I haven't heard in years. I miss us, she said, turning a pan with a confidence she never had near heat. We should start fresh. Date night Friday. My treat. Friday I'm booked. For what? Work. On a Friday? She laughed too bright. Come on. Grown-ups have deadlines, I said. You wanted me social. I'm social at work. She stepped into me, slid arms around my neck, and kissed like a promise. We're good, Mark. Let's be good. I shook my head lightly. Don't sell me good. Show me respect. She pulled back an inch, eyes hard, then found the smile again. You're impossible. I'm consistent, I said. The next morning, she was overly sweet. The day after, she was ice. Then came Jenna's again. Notice declared? Late. I didn't respond. A boundary's a boundary, even when the eggs were nice. Cal kept me posted. He gave me one last detail I hadn't considered. Derek had taken a lease on a small office in a building with flexible terms. He used it as a meeting space. He used it for everything else. One angle showed the door cracked, and Emily stepping out to fix her hair in the hall mirror, caught by the lens of a fire extinguisher cabinet. Enough. That was the kill turn for me. Not drama. Decision. I printed the documents. I called a process server and then canceled him, deciding I'd deliver mine personally. I called a lawyer to check the boxes, names on titles, accounts, advise on what not to say. I lined up everything like pre-cut studs. Clean. Fast. No raised voice. The morning of the anniversary, my phone lit up with group texts from her family about ice buckets and playlists. I didn't respond. I drove to Hannah's, said hello to her neighbor's dog that actually exists, and we headed to my house in 2 cars. On the ride, she asked, You sure you want me there from the door? Yes, I said. You're not a prop. You're the other half of the truth. We arrived 10 minutes late on purpose. The driveway was packed, front lawn dotted with people holding plastic cups, the kind of suburban festival Emily lives for. Balloons on the mailbox, a banner on the porch with a photo from our first year, which suddenly felt like stock art. Inside, the living room was full, her mother in pearls, my brother Dave with his usual sports hat, neighbors, co-workers. Luis stood near the bar, arms folded, eyes on me. Tara was in the kitchen, supervising a cheese board like it was a surgery. My phone buzzed. "Emily, where are you?" "Everyone's waiting." 2 minutes, I replied. Then we opened the door. Noise slapped quiet. Heads turned. I walked in with Hannah at my side, my hand steady on the small of her back, not possessive, just present. Emily moved fast, smile welded on, then cracked when she saw Hannah. "Dear," she said, too sweet. "Who is this? What is going on?" I didn't answer in the entry. I took Hannah to the long table where the banner picture stared down at us, dodged a cousin holding a tray, and waited until the room adjusted to the new weight. I raised my voice just enough. "Dear guests," I said. Faces turned. "Meet Hannah." I paused. "The wife of my wife's lover." Air left the room in a single inhale. Then whispers. Then noise, like a hive stirred with a stick. Emily spun to me. "That is a lie," she hissed, then louder. "This is slander. Stop it. You're humiliating me." Hannah's face stayed still, but her hands were ready. She pulled a small folder from her bag and set photos on the table like cards. She didn't pass them around. People walked up, looked, stepped back without touching. Emily's mother gasped and grabbed the back of a chair. "Emily, what am I looking at?" "Fake," Emily shouted. "Staged." Everyone, calm down. Tara edged forward, glanced at the top photo, and blinked twice. "That's the lobby on 7th, she said mechanically. She knew those mirrors. What? "Don't you dare," Emily snapped. My brother Dave put a hand on my shoulder. "You good?" "I'm done," I answered. Luis drifted over like quiet gravity. He looked at Hannah, then at me, and nodded once. "Fair." Across the room, someone muttered, "No way," and someone else said, "It's right there." And Emily kept talking like she could out-volume evidence. "You're cruel," she screamed at me finally. "On our anniversary? You've destroyed this family in front of." I didn't raise a hand to calm anything. I didn't need to. The room had chosen a side. Emily's mother stepped forward with a mom's fury. "Tell me the truth," she demanded, shaking. "Right now." "I don't owe anyone." "You owe me," her mother snapped. Aunt Lisa clucked her tongue. "We saw you out last week, Em." "You're all insane," Emily replied. "Mark, say something." I checked my watch. "This is the first part of the surprise," I said. Voices dipped, curious and horrified. I reached into the inside pocket of my jacket and set a large envelope on the table close to Emily. "Here's the rest." She stared, didn't touch, then grabbed it with hands that finally realized they weren't in control. She scanned the first page, then flipped. The color drained. "You're not serious." "As a heart attack," I said. "You'll find the inventory fair and the terms clean. I'm not here to destroy you. I'm here to end a thing that already ended." She looked around, desperate for a friend. Tara's face had gone neutral. Luis's jaw was a line. My brother's eyes were a warning not to test me. Even her mother didn't step in. She stepped out, to sit. Emily tried one more pivot. "We can fix this," she pleaded at me. "People make mistakes." I shook my head. "This isn't a mistake. It's a system." I gestured to the room. "And I don't live in it." "Please," she whispered, and her voice cracked on the word. "I'm begging you." "Stand up," I told her quietly. "Dignity is free. Use it." Someone in the back laughed nervously, and it rolled around the room like a loose marble. Dave hugged me sideways. Luis squeezed my shoulder. I let the support land. Then I looked at the clock. "We're done here," I announced. "Thank you for coming. Eat the food. Don't waste it." Emily burst again. "You can't do this." "I already did." I met her eyes. "You can collect your things tonight after guests leave. Pack light. I'm changing the alarm codes at midnight." I turned to the room. "If anyone feels the need to lecture me about grace, do it after you get the pictures out of your head." Hannah put her folder back in her bag and gave me a small nod. "I'll go," she said softly. "Thank you for coming," I replied. "I'll meet you later." Emily lunged for the photos like she could make them vanish, but 2 neighbors had already seen enough to start whispering into phones. Her mother put a hand to her face and cried silent, anger in the tears more than sorrow. Someone hugged Emily. Someone else didn't. I picked up the envelope, slid it back to Emily, and tapped it with a finger. "It's only paper until you sign. After that, it's relief." You're cold, she spit. No, I said. I'm finished. I walked Hannah to the door. On the porch, she blew out a breath and laughed once, a dry little sound. That was a lot, she said. That was the right amount. I glanced back at the house, at the crowd doing math. You okay to do yours later? I will be, she said. I was half expecting him to walk in. He won't. He knows better. I held the door for her, then went back inside to let the party die on its own. It did. An hour later, the house was empty except for confetti, cups, and the echo of people who would tell this story 5 different ways and end up at the same truth. Emily sat on the edge of the couch with a packed bag. She didn't look at me. She didn't ask for another talk. She stood, picked up the bag, and walked past me out of the house like it was a stage set she didn't want to be filmed on anymore. I locked the door behind her at midnight, changed the codes, and slept in the guest room with the window open to actual air. At 7, I was at Hannah's condo. Derek's car wasn't in its spot. Hannah opened the door in jeans and a sweatshirt that made her look like someone's favorite teacher, which she is. She held a manila envelope the same size as mine. You ready? She asked. I'm your muscle, I told her. Point me. We drove to Derek's meeting space. He was there, of course. He always is when he thinks he can charm the calendar. He stepped into the hall like a man about to sell you a new plan for your money and stopped when he saw me first. Hannah's voice was even. We were married, she said. Keyword were. Papers are inside. I took everything you gave away, and I'm keeping what's mine. Engage with my attorney, not me. Derek glanced at me. You brought a bodyguard? Just a carpenter, I said. I specialize in load-bearing walls. He sneered. You think this is noble? You think this is? I think your wife doesn't need a speech, I cut in. And I think my car is illegally parked. Hannah placed the envelope in his hand and walked out. He didn't chase. I followed her to the elevator and didn't look back. Later that week, Emily texted twice. The first was a long paragraph about grief and history. The second asked for a coffee to talk it through. I responded once. Please direct communications to counsel. Arrange a time to collect the rest of your things. She tried to call. I declined it. Not to be cruel. To be clear. The rest came clean. The papers moved. The accounts settled. The house stayed or changed hands the way grown-ups decide when they're done fighting about who gets the couch. People asked me if I regretted the scene. I told them regret is what you feel when you put on a show. I put on a boundary. Months passed the way they always pass when you fill them. I worked. I slept. I stopped listening for a second phone buzzing in the dark. I bought a toolbox I didn't need because I wanted one. I went out for a burger with Dave on Thursdays. Luis and I rebuilt his fence over 2 Saturdays, then stood there like kings of a perimeter. Hannah and I found a rhythm that felt like the right gear. 2 humans in the same storm, not clinging, just walking. We messaged memes about meetings that should have been emails, swapped stories about small daily victories, and met for coffee on Sundays before the church rush. Once, she helped me pick a couch that didn't look like a college rental. Once, I fixed a drawer she'd been angry at for a year. We weren't dating. We were rebuilding. It's quieter than people expect, and it works. A friend asked me if I'd heard about Emily. I hadn't. He said she left town for a while and was starting fresh. He said the man wasn't with her. I said I hoped she learned something she couldn't have learned staying. Then I went back to laying out a new kitchen with a client who wanted drawers that hold real weight. The anniversary banner got folded and used as drop cloth in my workshop. Fitting, really. Old pictures are great at catching a mess. You want a moral? Here it is. I'm not the hero. I'm not the victim. I'm the man who stopped pretending and acted like his dignity mattered more than a party. I installed boundaries like studs, then hung my life on them. The households. A month ago, Hannah and I went to a school fundraiser where the principal begged, the kids sang off-key, and the coffee was burnt. Derek didn't show. At one point, a parent asked us if we were together. Hannah smiled. We're allies, she said. Best promotion I've had all year, I replied. We laughed. Not because it hurt. Because it didn't anymore. I drive a truck that's paid off, live in a house that's quiet, and have friends who don't need a script to support me. The other day, Tara stopped by with a pie she claimed she made. She looked around at the clean surfaces and the lack of helium balloons. You seem lighter, she said. I'm carrying less that wasn't mine, I answered. She nodded. You were right about the dog. I usually am, I told her. Eventually, she rolled her eyes and left the pie. I called Hannah, and told her I had too much dessert. She said she knew a group of teachers who consider sugar a health plan. We laughed again, the easy kind. Then we made a plan to take a hike that Sunday after coffee. That's the trade I took. I lost a wife who mistook control for love and got a life with room in it. I got quiet mornings, loud friends, honest work,